continued for an 8th-day Sunday, with participants demanding a return to civilian government. The country's military leaders have ousted longtime leader Omar al-Bashir and sworn in a 10-member transitional council headed by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan to rule the country. Protesters largely approve of the general but fear a return of dictatorship. A delegation representing protesters met with the military council late Saturday to demand that civilian representatives be added to the council and that a fully civilian government should be formed to run day-to-day affairs.
We will remain here until our demands are met. The first is to give power to the citizens, to hold the criminals accountable, to hand Bashir over to the International Court, or to bring him to justice here in the country.
To placate protesters, al-Burhan has ordered the release of political prisoners, lifted the nighttime curfew imposed by the council last week, and promised accountability for the killing of protesters. But his 10-member council includes military and police officers who have been accused of rights abuses. Protests began in December in the eastern city of Atbara after the government tripled the price of bread. They have since grown into a nationwide revolt against Bashir's 30-year rule. The armed forces took over Thursday, forcing the president to step down. Regional powers, including Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt, backed the military council.
We support the Sudanese people's choices and how they seek to map the future. And we support the presence of Sudanese institutions, including the armed forces, and their ability to meet the will of the Sudanese people and get out of the current crisis.
But they also stressed the need for peace and stability. A political analyst in neighboring Egypt says removing Bashir from power does not solve Sudan's deep-rooted problems.
This is a country that protests were provoked by rise in prices. The price of bread jumped from £1 to £3. The same with fuel, very high prices. Now, the revolution got rid of the regime, but they don't have a solution for the economic crisis that is facing almost 50% of the population who are below poverty line. So the challenges are big.
Analysts say Sudan, like its neighbor South Sudan, could face famine, tribal warfare, security breakdown, and ultimately chaos.